We are so glad to have Dr. Katie Hopkins back with us this morning. She's been helping us with all kinds of things back to school when it comes to emotionally getting our kids back in the classroom. We talked about this. The kids come home from school, and I say, how was school today? And they say,
good,
fine. You can never really get in there.
Yes.
There are some better strategies, though.
I know. I actually get asked this all the time around this time of year. Kids get in the car and you're like, tell me about your day. And then they're like, it was fine. And so certainly you want to figure out, I mean, what we want as parents is tell us about the details of your day, right? So some of it is about timing and some of it is about the types of questions that you want to ask. So first and foremost, think about when you get home from work. You need a couple minutes at least to decompress before your kids come to you asking you a ton of questions, right? Kids are like that too. So let them lead the way, especially on the way home. If that means having a quiet ride or listening to some music that they want to listen to, that's okay. And then maybe at dinner time or a little bit later, you can say, instead of how was your day, ask them something more specific, like what was the funniest thing that happened to you today? Or who did you sit with at lunch? Or what colors did you use today when you were working on that coloring page? So asking more specific details. What was something that made you uncomfortable today? I mean, think about what kind of answers are you looking for and ask some more specific questions.
I've found over the years now that the school lunch conversation, what'd you have for lunch, really opens Pandora's box for whatever reason.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, in general, if we can get people talking about food, we can get them talking about a lot of different things.
So, as we know, school is full of conflict, drama. It can be full of rejection sometimes too. How do we talk to our kids about that? What's the best way to coach them in those areas when times are tough?
Yeah. So when they come home and you either sense that something did happen at school or they are able to open up and share a conflict that they're having with a peer, the first thing that you have to do is pump the brakes when it comes to talking about solutions. So instead of just jumping in and saying, well, here's what you should do, say, first of all, that sounds really hard. That sounds like you had a really hard day. What do you think you would do differently if you could do it over again? Or what are you thinking about doing or saying tomorrow? Certainly encouraging them to lead with kindness and respond with kindness, even if it's tough. But also, it's okay to give your kids permission to take breaks from friends, especially if they have ongoing conflicts. Talking about, maybe that friendship needs a little bit of space or needs a break. Why don't you give it some time, maybe eat lunch with somebody else tomorrow so that you can come back to that friendship maybe with some cooler heads and some better ideas.
I was just talking to Dr. Katie and saying this is something we're dealing with at home. My friends that were in my class last year, not in my class this year, it's hard adjusting to new people.
It is really hard. It is so hard. Every kid I know, from kindergartners to seniors, if they want to see their friends in their classroom, right? But if they're not there, they're always a little bit nervous.
Right.
It's nice to remind them, hey, remember on the first day of kindergarten, you didn't know those friends either. And how long did it take for you to make those friends? I have faith that you're going to make new friends. And let's, maybe we could organize a play date with your friends who are in other classes this year so they can stay connected.
A little perspective's always a good thing, I think, right? Reminding them. All right, Dr. Katie Hopkins, appreciate it as always.
Thank you for having me.